Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, full throttle. 30, 40, 50. Okay, YouTubers, I know it's been long overdue. Please don't hate me. I've been busy making excuses. Now then, today I thought I'd make a little video. I've had this machine for almost a year now and I've almost done 4,000 miles, and I thought what better opportunity to go on a nice ride out and talk to you about the bike and my experience of ownership. Now, it's not perfect, this bike, and there is a few things that annoy me slightly. They might not annoy you, but before I get on the bike I'm going to talk you through a few other things that annoy me just a little bit. Now the first thing that annoys me, I ride this bike rain or shine. All through the winter I've been commuting on this across the city, and one of the things that annoys me is when you try and turn the right indicator. It happens at least once a week where I put the hazards on by mistake. I think they're a bit too close together, and also the horn doesn't fall readily to your finger. You know, if somebody pulls out, you look at it, you end up having to look down to see where the horn is. Now if you've got your summer gloves on, that doesn't happen because there's not as much material and you've got a bit more room. That's number one. Number two thing that annoys me is the Honda Road Sync. As brilliant as it is, the annoyance is I've just filled up this bike and I've unfortunately had to put Asda fuel in because it's the most convenient. I don't normally. Problem you have is if you're in Honda Smart Sync, you can't access these menus. Now as I say, I've just filled up, so I need to come in and reset the trip meter. So now I've just fueled up. I had 2 bars left and I did 153 miles on that, and I think it was saying I'd got another 45 miles in the tank, so we'll see. So to reset it, go to trip A and hold that across. There it goes, and that will reset the trip A and the average consumption A. Now while I'm here, I'll just talk to you about this. Since owning this bike, you've got trip A and trip B. I've never reset trip B from the day I got it. So if you go into trip B, it'll show you that my average over the course of 3,600 or 700 miles, this bike's average 72.8, which isn't fantastic. It's good, it's not fantastic, because I hear the Forza guys, they're getting well into the 90s. Let me know if you've got a Forza, what are you getting to the average MPGs here in the UK. Now if I go to trip A, that's the 3,675 miles. Now today I've heard there's a little bit of a scooter gathering taking place at Skeg Vegas, so I'm going to head over to the East Coast and we're going to have a look at that. And I thought it's going to be a nice around about 200 mile trip to do, so we'll go and have a look at that and I'll talk to you on the way. Oh yeah, incidentally, I've ridden this bike for 129 hours and 5 minutes over the course of that mileage, 3675. So that's interesting. We'll probably get better average consumption today because we're going on a run. See, I'm complaining about 72, 73 to the gallon, but I must explain, I commute across the city, which is 30s, 40s, bit of dual carriageway, and it's hard acceleration, braking, accelerating, braking, accelerating all the way to work. That's why it's so low. Low? Is it low? But we'll see. We're going to take it on a run and we'll see. Now the annoyance is when you've got this in Honda Road Sync mode, which we're going to connect now. There you go, accept the safety warning. But now I'm in Honda Road Sync, I can't access these parameters anymore because this is being used now for the phone. So if you go and fuel up and you're in road sync, you've got to come out of this, switch your Bluetooth off, go back into it, reset, and I find that a little bit annoying. Why couldn't they just have that button there to turn the Bluetooth on or off so you could reset it? That would have been better. Another thing that annoys me, it probably only annoys me because I've got big hands, but trying to get the USB plug into the hole there, my hand is too big, so it takes me 5 minutes to get that plugged in. But where else can you put it? It's got to be waterproof, hasn't it? As you can see, I made a little grommet hole there so I can pull the cable out to charge the phone. So that's number 3. Number 4, cleaning the bike. I find it really difficult to clean it. In fact, I'll put a little video in now showing you me cleaning the bike. These are the bits you're going to struggle with. Try and get in here and all up in there, because this is where the most of the grime accumulates. Down there you can't really get down there. And on the inside of the wheel. I mean, if you don't use one of these brushes, you're very likely to trap one of your fingers. So that was number 3. Number 4, wind buffeting. Now I know they've made some compromises because of the styling, which I love, and I think it's well worth it. But I'm only comparing this to my previous Bergman 400, which had excellent weather protection. Now when you're riding this in the rain, your feet will stay dry, but you do get a bit of wind coming around here, and you do get a bit of buffering from this screen. Now if you put the screen down, that eliminates a lot of the buffering, but you do get the wind on your chest, which might be nice in the summer if we ever get one. So there's that. I tend to ride with the screen up. You do get a little bit of rain and water on your shoulders, on your torso, but I don't mind. I will accept that for the styling any day. Now another thing that is a little bit annoying, there's no handbrake. As people might know, the Bergman has a handbrake there, which is fantastic. If you're pulling up on a hill and you've got to put your glove on or take a glove off or do anything, you're going to roll, which is annoying. I wish it had a handbrake. So there's just a few little things that are minor annoyances, but it is a trade-off because the bike is fantastic. Now I forgot to measure this tyre when I first got it, so I can't remember how much tread's on, but let's have a look. Let's have a look what we've got left. So we've got about 4.5 millimeters left. 4.5 millimeters of tread left. If you've got still got a brand new one and you've got one of these, let me know how much tread they come with when they're new. I mean, I feel like the tyre, oh look at that, starting to go rusty. Like I say, I do ride this all through the winter, but I do clean it every week. Let me know how much tread they come with when they're new, if you can. The front tyre is still looking good, like new. I do feel though that I am going to wear the tyres and brakes out a bit quicker than normal, because as I say, my commute, it's about a 6 mile commute there and a 6 mile back to work and back, and like I say, it's hard on the gas, hard on the brakes, so it's going to wear out quicker. But those are tiny insignificant things compared with the experience of riding this scooter. So let's get on. I'm going to put a bit of Northern Soul in Mikado and we're going to head over to Skeg Vegas, and I'll talk to you in a bit. Now here's another one. A few people ask, what's it like? Is it nippy? Because it's a scooter, you don't expect it to be nippy. I'll give you a demonstration of acceleration. I'm on a 70, so I'm just going to wait for a gap. I could have probably gone then. But what I want you to do, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, go, and I'm going to give it the full gas. Do your stopwatch on your phone and measure it. Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, full throttle. 30, 40, 50, 60 no problem, 70 mile an hour, and it just keeps going. You can sit at 70 all day, there's no vibration, bit of buffeting like I say, put your earplugs in, you'll be fine. A couple of guys on the forums are thinking about coming off of the big bikes. Is a scooter going to be enough? Good question. Well, just so you know, at the time I bought this bike last year, I had a KTM 1190 Adventure 150 horsepower bike, and coming onto this, I can honestly say I get as much pleasure from riding this as I did on the KTM. It's just a different kind of pleasure. But the thing I love about this is you do feel like you're actually riding a motorbike when you look down there and you see a proper set of forks, upside down forks, non-adjustable. Some people say they're a little bit stiff, and they are, if I'm honest. But I pick my daughter up 3 days of the week, pillion on this, and it copes wonderfully. You don't really notice you've got a pillion on. I mean, I know she's only 17, she's only little, but I've taken fully grown adults on the back, and it only slightly knocks the edge off performance. And if I'm honest with you, this one time when I was on the Autobahn, I actually saw 95 miles per hour on that speedo. So 70, 80, you can genuinely sit all day long. The other thing was, I was a little bit worried about the space, the room you get on this bike. Now I've got really long legs, 34-inch inside leg, and it's a bugger trying to get trousers for a bike, I can tell you. But I'm going to put a little link in now of me getting on the bike and my girlfriend who's 5'2", and she can ride it, and I'm going to put a little video in now of what we both look like on the bike. Now I'll just give you, a few people are wondering about touching the floor, and I can give you a great example now because my glamorous assistant behind the camera is short of leg. Now I'll tell you, my trousers are a 34 leg, and this is what I look like on the bike. I can easily, that's sitting on the knees bent, no problem whatsoever. Now I'll just get my glamorous assistant to do the same. Watch this. Right, how tall are you, Michelle?
5'2".
She's 5'2". But I'll come to the front so you can see. So she's got 1 foot on the floor and 1 foot not on the floor. But she's only got tiny little legs. But she can ride it, and she does ride it. So we'll do a bit of filtering and get to the front like we're supposed to. That's another one, people say, is it okay for filtering? Well, rest assured you can filter on this. It's so nice handling, low centre of gravity, you'll have no problem. There we go. Always first away. Now you're going to need quite a really quick car to beat one of these off the line. Up to 30, 40 and 50, the acceleration, 70, don't even know you're doing it. The acceleration is fantastic off the line. But yeah, flickability, and these big wide bars, you really can throw it about. Right, I've got to be careful now, coming into Nottingham, speed cameras everywhere. I feel like I might have been being a bit harsh on the MPGs earlier. As you can see now it's settled in. 50s and 60s, I'm averaging 80 to the gallon. Quite happy with that. So it's 18 degrees today. I'm absolutely loving this ride. The roads aren't too bad, not much traffic. I've got the Northern Soul playing on Spotify. That's another thing, this is so good. Once you've settled in, and like now, I'm on a little bit of a trip. it's so convenient to just skip to the next song, turn the volume up and down, pause it, press play. It's just great. And as I say, I bought this bike blindly without even a test ride. I was very nervous because I had a 4-month wait, and apparently last year, I got this in May last year, apparently I got the last one that came into, well, that dealership, which was the Nottingham one, for the whole year. So how lucky was that? And also red. Why did I get a red one? I'll tell you why I got a red one, because everybody gets a silver one. I don't want to be everybody, and I absolutely love this colour. I was a little bit worried about the finish of it because it's like satin, and I was worried about scratches and scuffs, and it's been alright, I'll be honest with you, it's been alright. And I think for its first winter it's actually fared quite well. So yeah, for saying I bought this bike blind, it's far exceeded my expectations. It is that good. And I know I had a little moan about a few things that annoy me, but come on, there's no such thing as perfection. But this is very close, very close. Here we are in the beautiful Lincolnshire countryside. This always reminds me of Belgium, this does. Another thing I like about this bike is the keyless start, because we've all done that thing, haven't we, where we're leaving work, it's chucking it down with rain, we've got our all-in-one waterproof suit on, we'll go out to our bike and the keys are still in our jeans pocket, so it's strip off again, isn't it? Not so with this bike. It doesn't matter where the key is, so long as it's on your person, the bike will start. No need to go rummaging in pockets for the key, which I find really convenient. What else? Oh yeah, what have I done to the scooter so far then? Oxford heated grips, a winter essential here in the UK. Wired to the battery, which I'm sat on. The battery is under the seat at the very front. I've put a screen angel on there. You can't even tell, but there's a screen angel. There's a screen angel on the dash just to prevent any scratches. So I bet one of them's a few quid. Top box mount. I've got the Shad. Now when I bought the CB500X, it came with a Shad 39 litre box on it, which is on the back of here now. So all I did was I just ordered the bracket and the plate to fit this bike, so now the top box is interchangeable from bike to bike, which is brilliant. It saves having to store 2 top boxes in the garage. Yeah, look, we're going to have to do a bit of squeeze. Breathe in, breathe in. I don't know why, but thanks mate. Lots of cars you find, they just take offence to the fact that you're filtering. Even though I think it's rule 88 in the highway code states that it's quite legal to filter. So I do. I try and be considerate to the road users. We've all got to share the same space, I realise that. But I tell you what, anybody else that rides a scooter and drives a car like me, you become so intolerant to driving. I mean, imagine being sat in this now. Torture. In fact, on my commute they seem to be always digging the roads up. But on the scooter, you see, I can still get home in the same amount of time. Well, there's a few scooters here today at Skegness. I'll do a loop, I'll turn around and go all the way back up there. But I don't know if I'm going to be accepted on a Honda. I don't see any Hondas, they're all Vespas and Lamborettas. But one thing in my defence, this bike is actually built in Italy. That's it, ready to go. Yeah, the battery went flat when I was in Skeggy. When I first turned up and I got off my bike, I realised the battery had gone flat. Well, when I set out this morning with a full tank, I didn't realise I was going to get there and back on one tank, and as you can see it's showing 192.4 miles. The last fuel bar is flashing and the range, a few minutes ago it said 20-mile range and now it's just disappeared. So I'm literally running on vapours now, but what I'll do is I'll go and fuel up and we'll work out if it really is 81.7 miles per gallon. I mean, when I set out this morning I was giving it some licks going to on the way there. I wasn't even trying to conserve fuel, but I reckon if you were a bit gentle and kept your speed down, I think you'd easily do 200 miles, and I think it's only a 13 litre tank as well. Yeah, we made it, yes, 195 miles on one tank of fuel, and that's about it. A bit more, don't want it spilling out. Right then, how many litres have we got there? Wow, 10 litres. Basically it's 2 gallon, isn't it? 10.8 litres. Right, let's go over there and we'll have a conclusion. Right, let's do a bit of quick calculating. Right, 2.38 imperial gallons, okay. Yeah, that is quite accurate. That's saying 81.7 and I've just calculated it to 82.1. So yeah, you can say that's pretty accurate. 82 mpg. I'm happy with that. Right, so in conclusion, would I recommend getting one of these? Abso-bloody-lutely would I. Few victims. But yeah, the bike is absolutely fantastic. I forgot to mention as well, those Mesler Carew Street, really confidence inspiring. As you can see, I'm right off the edge of the tyre, probably a mil or two left to go, but yeah, really grippy they are. So yeah, I don't think you'll get a nicer looking sporty scooter as that. I'm really taken with the looks, the adventure styling and the handlebars I think is absolutely gorgeous. Definitely recommend it, and if you're on the waiting list and you've got one coming, I don't think you're going to be disappointed in it like I wasn't. Absolutely blown away with it. It is in fact all the bike you need, and as I've just shown, done 200 miles in one day. Oh yeah, one thing I would say, I'm 6'1", I've got really long legs, and it would have been brilliant if I could have just gone back a little bit, because unlike a motorbike you can't stand up while you're riding, but what you can do is you can put your feet on there and you can scrunch yourself up onto that. If you want to stretch out, you might not need to, but yeah, on the whole, absolutely fantastic machine. Really did exceed my expectations. If you're thinking of getting one, get one, you'll love it. So all that remains to say is thanks for watching. Leave us a thumbs up on your way out, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.